Hi friends, it's Chrissy from First Day of Home. Today I'm going to show you how to make your very own Valentine's Day garland using felt hearts and pom-poms. And I'm going to share my secret for getting perfect pom-poms every time, because I think pom-poms are going to be everywhere this year. So I definitely want to give you some tips to make your very own. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified when I post on YouTube. Also, leave a comment for me below and let me know what kind of crafting you like to do. Let's go ahead and talk about what you'll need to get started. You'll want to get just a standard set of yarn to make your pom-poms, and then I found this great set of pom-pom makers. I'm going to use the largest size for my garland, and I'm going to choose only a few of these colors for a nice ombre effect on my garland. I also picked up a couple of pieces of felt that I'll use to make some sweet little hearts. You'll want to pick up a few pieces of embroidery floss like this to make an accent on your hearts as well. So let's get started using our pom-pom makers. Now you can definitely use other methods like cardboard or a fork, but I have fallen in love with this set of pom-pom makers. I will put a link below if you're interested. Of course, you do have other ways of doing it with just objects around the house, but what I love about these is that it makes for a really consistent pom-pom. And what I did is, or what you're going to want to do is wind the yarn around the pom-pom maker around one side, and you'll want to go back and forth. So right now I'm going toward the other side. I'm going to go once back and forth, and then again about 5 or 6 times. So you'll want to make sure that your pom-pom gets really fluffy, because if you don't wind it enough times, of course, you're just not going to get that nice fullness of your pom-pom. So once you wind up one side, you'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm going back and forth about 5 or 6 times for a total of 10 times if you want to think of it that way, because I'm counting each time back and forth as once. So once you do that, you'll just snip off the edge of the yarn, close up your pom-pom maker, and then this is the magic that happens. You just use your scissors to cut through that center line of the pom-pom maker, and you can start to see the pom-pom taking shape. So once you do that on both sides, you're going to take a piece of yarn and just cut off, maybe, 10 inches or so, maybe a little less. But you want enough that you can wrap it around the pom-pom maker and go right down that center line. You can see here, and I'm going to tie a knot a couple times as tightly as you can, and this is going to secure those strings of the pom-pom together. So again, double knot it. You can even wind it back around the other side and knot it on each side of the pom-pom maker, but just make sure you're getting it really tight, don't pull so hard that you're actually going to break the yarn. And once you're done with that, all that you have left to do is open up your pom-pom maker, and you can see here how nice and full this looks. I am so in love with this. I think I'm going to do pom-poms for many more crafts throughout the year. So once you open up your pom-pom maker, you'll pop this pom-pom maker open, and then this will reveal your final pom-pom. Now you can see it's kind of having a bad hair day, so we're going to trim it up. And just give it a little trim all the way around, fluff it up as you go so that you can see really where all of the pieces of yarn are going, and you'll just want to trim around until it looks good enough for you. Next, we'll take our felt and just fold it in half to trace a couple of hearts. I just freehanded my hearts, and I have to tell you, my boys made this giant piece of wall art the other day that was in the same shape as these hearts that I'm making here. And so I wanted to do this shape as a little tribute to their sign, and they wrote the word joy in the middle with a little backward J. So I thought that was so sweet, and you should have seen their faces when I told them that I was modeling my hearts after their heart. So once you trace your pattern onto the felt, you'll just want to cut around, and you can see I'm kind of being a little generous here as I cut around, because I wanted the hearts to be just a little bit bigger, since I'm going to be doing some stitching and filling them with some polyfill or cotton stuffing. So here's my heart. I'm going to take it now and just flip it around so that that pen mark isn't showing. And now I'm going to begin stitching around the edges. This is where that embroidery floss comes in handy. So I'm just taking my floss. I did need a needle that's meant for embroidery that can fit that larger thread through and also be thick enough to go through the felt. So just make sure you have a good needle you're using. And I'll just begin stitching kind of a simple overcast stitch around, and it's not perfect, but I love that this to me almost looks like bringing my kids' art to life. So have fun with it, come up with your own design, and you'll want to leave a little opening if you do decide to fill it with some cotton stuffing. So before I completely closed it, I put my little polyfill, and I'll link to that if you're not familiar with it. It's just basically cotton stuffing. I'm putting that inside, and then I'm going to close up my heart and get ready to create my garland. So I should mention that the kids really enjoy making these pom-poms with me too. I did end up creating a few different sizes of pom-poms, which you can do with the set that I bought, and I'm just going to cut off those strings that I made before and then start to string my hearts and my pom-poms onto my little jute cord here. Now I found that it was easiest to just string all of the hearts on and then space them out and put the pom-poms in between. And to do that, to put the pom-poms in, I kind of made a belt around the pom-poms. So I just had to kind of carefully string the heart through, and you'll see here it leaves a little loop. And I'm just going to take one of my pom-poms and put it right inside that loop and then tie it like a belt around the pom-pom. And that just helps me kind of space things evenly and gives me a chance to put the pom-poms in between the hearts and kind of play with it a little bit. And they're not so knotted on there that I can't adjust them if my garland ends up being too long or too short, which happens a lot. So I think this is the best method I've found to space things evenly and know exactly how long your garland should be. So here's the final garland. As you can see, I think it looks so sweet with the little ombre pom-poms and the stitched hearts. And now I'm ready to hang it on my mantle. Thanks again for watching. I don't know about you, but I'm really hooked on this pom-pom trend, so I'm excited to do more projects with that. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this project, if you plan to make your own. And as always, I appreciate you giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stick around for more easy crafts, DIY projects, and recipes by hitting that subscribe button below. And don't forget, I always have more projects like this on my blog at firstdayofhome.com. I'll see you next time.